Hello, hello, my fellow sensitive people. It is I, Whimsy, and I just threw the cards earlier tonight, and I saved it because I thought it was really interesting and I wanted to show it to everybody. Today I just wanted to do a brief remote view on Bill Barr, and I used the cards. Let's interpret this. Let's come in and interpret. I'm on the bed, so we're real casual here tonight. That can happen. Base card of the matter, traveling on to a new alliance. You can see this is the base card. Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups. He travels on and he enters into a new alliance. This is interesting because if you think of Trump as hiring Barr to be his wingman, this could be an indication that he is leaving that relationship and going into another relationship. This is the card I chose for Barr. I chose to make him the King of Cups because I saw him in terms of landing the plane. He kept talking about as the person who was brought in by the GOP, it appeared in tonight's remote, to gently remove this man from the White House. And there appears to be some frustration on the part of both the Democrats, but particularly the Republicans, that he's not leaving. And the reason why the Republicans did that, the reason why it was the Republicans that seemed to have brought Bill Barr in, is because they knew that this president should not be reelected. And what they had to do was push him out. And so it was actually a plot that was, in a way, kind of developed more by old dog Republicans, a group of Republicans, than anything else. And it's interesting the way that it looks in the remote, but enough Republicans were concerned about this president doing a second term that they basically got together and somehow worked to have Bill Barr come in and negotiate either a good resignation deal, one that any Republican would be happy to take. So he was supposed to be the intermediary, to be a mediator in a situation like that. This is how it's looking tonight. But he didn't land the plane. And people are getting angry, and he keeps saying over, I'm landing the plane, I'm landing the plane. That's what's going on. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about the fact that he was brought in, not by the Democrats, but by the Republicans, to get this guy out. He should have been out months ago because they don't have enough time to get some candidates in to challenge him in the primary. And so this was the card I used, was the Great Negotiator. I chose to see him as the King of Hearts, in a positive light. So his first card that comes over him is what? A negotiation. Three of Pentacles moving in. He's trying to negotiate a contract, and then what crossed the contract? Work. It's as if they're hauling massive amounts of information over to him. Lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit against this president. It's like the lawyers are here, the contracts are here, and it's mounting evidence being dumped on the Justice Department about this administration and all of the laws that it is violating. Interesting. So that's the first vision. Then above, fourth house, this is an Ace of Wands moving in. So something is going to come down. Something is coming down. The Ace of Wands is there, and it's right on top of Barr's head. So it's almost as if to say that powers that are even greater than Barr are over his head and are removing this president. What is below him in the grave? Contemplation, serious contemplation. But look at that Ace of Wands right over his head. And then what it sits in his past? Mastery. He's researching. He's really been brought in to negotiate this. Look at Trump. Still doesn't take the offer. Still will not resign. Is rejecting the polls. is rejecting the offers, is refusing to listen to the Justice Department and say, look, you will be impeached. We're having 10 lawsuits a day against you. The ACLU alone has how many lawsuits? They are bankrupting him. His administration has been bankrupted, which was a tactic I didn't even know we were doing. That was going on to get this administration out, was just mounting. Every single time they saw something, they mounted a lawsuit, and then the Justice Department had to deal with it. And so that's what this is. Where he is at, walking away from the broken man. I was not sure what this was about, and then when I laid this card, Five of Pentacles, in the 7th house, poverty, abandoning the person that's holding you back, trying to get back into the church, interesting Catholic imagery, St. Vincent de Paul, homeless shelter kind of imagery. What is around him? Again, a second partnership, the Two of Wands, as if he's flying off to go be with somebody else. Another partnership, another partnership. The hope and the, isn't this amazing? Hanging it up. He's going to hang it up. And then the final outcome, offer. He offers again. You got to go. You can't stay. You got to go. Again, he offers the cup. We're going 2 weeks forward now. When I do my clarification, this energy usually lasts about 2 weeks approximately. Cutting it off, Page of Swords. The eyes are opened. The hope and the fear, the truth comes out. The Judgment card is coming. And look at this, frugality, examining the Buddha. Look at what's going on with Barr. Self-examination, walking away from things that hold you back, cutting it off. This is an absolutely fascinating tarot reading, one that particularly if you're a beginner to an intermediate and you're learning the tarot, that you'll be able to follow and understand, I think, fairly easily. This is a night when I would say that the cards are very open. It appears that from the remote and from the tarot reading that, to recap, Barr was brought in by the Republicans. They were able to do certain things to get him into that position in order to negotiate an early exit for Donald Trump. And that was because it was decided by a large group of members of the GOP secretly that they did not want this person to be a two-term president. And so what many people in the public didn't know was that while they were publicly coming out in support of this president, they secretly were afraid of him, and they were afraid of his threats and his henchmen, and they recognized the problem that was happening. And so it was a delicate situation to quote unquote land the plane, because they realized that he was unteachable and that in fact it was a threat to the whole country. So Barr was, through hook or by crook, they got him in there to negotiate because they thought they were real close to a resignation, and particularly they wanted him out before the primaries because they're concerned that he will win the primaries, and they're concerned theoretically that he will be back in the White House, and they're concerned that they will publicly have to endorse him. And so what appears to be happening is that the GOP within 2 weeks will make a public break, and at that point we will reach a 2/3 majority in private in the Senate. But we are up now currently from the last remote I did, between 59 and 60 Republicans are ready to impeach this president. As I had said in the premonition 2 years ago, it will be Lindsey Graham who takes counsel with him privately. However, based on tonight's remote, the Justice Department also feels it is their responsibility to inform this president that mounting lawsuits, some of them quite legitimate, against this president, and some showing strong evidence that it is not even a legitimate presidency, the weight of that is something that does weigh heavy on Mr. Barr, and we will see open public rebellion by the GOP within 2 weeks. I hope this answers everyone's questions about why Linda G and myself were, I can't speak for Miss G, I don't want to disrespect her, but perhaps this was why she and I had mixed feelings about Barr. I truly do believe that the GOP thought by bringing Barr in, by bringing a conservative in, they could get this person out of the White House and stabilize things in DC again and get things back to normal. And I think that Lindsey Graham has some beautiful traits. You know, he's very loyal to his friends, loyal to a fault, and it's going to be interesting to see his unraveling over the coming weeks. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace out.